Transformation is hard, uncomfortable, and sometimes in the middle of the journey, we're not sure we still want to end up in the destination we set out for. It's even more challenging if we've hired someone to help us. It's story time in this episode of Leverage Your Spark, and it's a tale of a pet-focused brand with big aspirations. Welcome to Leverage Your Spark. I'm Brandy Lawson. This particular client came to us several years ago because they hired the wrong person to do their SEO. The previous vendor had redone the entire site, moved them to a different host, and the search rankings were plummeting, which meant business was falling off. We went to work, and in a couple months, things had turned around, rankings were improving, leads were coming in, and the business grew 40% year over year. The owner of this company had big visions for her brand and her company. She'd considered having multiple locations, and even franchising was on her radar. This was actually all very achievable as she's an operational beast. Her company runs like a well-oiled machine, and because of that, they're able to scale. One of her biggest challenges was simply getting enough people hired for the demand once her SEO was back on track. One day, she decided she was ready to elevate her brand so that she could be in a place to franchise in the future. She signed on for Ignition, our strategy service, and we went to work creating a strategy that would guide the branding and a website update. We delivered the solution presentation with the strategy and plan, and she was elated. We'd captured her vision. We were very clear on what she wanted to build and able to articulate her unique value proposition and her competitive edge in the market. Interested in getting more value from the experts you hire? At FireFX, we know a thing or two about getting the most from working with experts. Plus, we're experts in strategy, websites, analytics, smart business, and technology. Find out how to benefit from hiring an expert by booking a consult with us at firefx.com/experts. The next step here was the brand update. To be quite transparent, branding and design is always a sticky place, especially for founders. It's difficult to separate personal from professional when it comes to a company that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into. When we delivered the elevated brand, she was at first very excited. And then a lot of doubts started to creep in. This new look was extremely different from her existing brand. Moving forward with it would mean changing everything that had the current brand on it. This change started to become very real, especially as she thought about the cost for updating all the materials and signage. After the initial presentation, she came back wanting to make a lot of changes. As the expert here, my first job was to listen and then lead. I went back to our original goals for the project to check in and make sure that this was still what she wanted. Moving her from where she was to where she wanted to go was a big leap. And after delivering that initial brand and going back and revisiting the goals of the project, it became clear to her that she wasn't quite ready to make the leap, at least not all the way yet. We'd ended up revising the logo and colors slightly to make it more of an evolution of the existing brand, but still a significant step in the direction of her big vision. I could have easily just capitulated, scrapped the brand we'd given her, and instead delivered a small variation on her existing brand, but that wasn't my job. My job was to work with her to articulate her vision and hold her through the transformation so that she would have something that could serve the next iteration of her business. And when it became clear she wasn't ready to go all the way, we reset the goalposts and changed things to be aligned with where she was ready to go. In this scenario, the client could have easily switched to steamroll mode, told me I wasn't right, that she didn't like any of it, and fired us. But because we had already done the work to clarify the strategy and understand who she was trying to serve and how she was trying to serve them, that was our guidepost, not only for us, but also for her when she needed to move the finish line. When we help clients achieve transformation, there's a lot more to it than just delivering quality work. That's why it's so critical to be clear about the results we're after and use strategy and planning to guide our efforts. So that when we find ourselves in the middle of delivering the work and things aren't feeling aligned, we can go back and recalibrate either to the existing goals or update the goals to what we now understand about where we want to go. The payoff is we're able to help her through this transition and get a brand that could be franchised and stand out amongst a crowded, competitive landscape. Stories are fun and very helpful in absorbing new concepts, but know what's more fun? Tips, tricks, and hacks. Join me in the next episode of Leverage Your Spark to hear my rant about unnecessary meetings and my tip on what to do instead of scheduling another meeting. Did you enjoy this episode? Know someone else who'd benefit from listening? Don't be shy. Share and subscribe at leverageyourspark.com.